today we're capping off a sleeve. What does that mean? We're doing the top shoulder cap, the upper arm, which a lot of times is the kind of showcase spot of the sleeve, or commonly used for like the main subject of the sleeve. We have already accomplished the lower end, so let me show you what we're doing on the top today. So this is our setup. Obviously this is heeled. We have some really cool like columns, buildings here into this angel. Let me wipe that away a little so you guys can see. And then up into like our huge statue face. So a lot of times I'll design these like in concept. So you can see over here on the iPad, I have the concept design, right? And then I will piece them individually a lot, like meaning, I piece this separate, and then obviously this one as well separate. Because, everyone's arm and anatomy is like a little bit different. So it curves. This one, I love how it's laying on the upper arm. We have this nice circle to emphasize the front delt. We have this forward facing direction and looking up a little bit, which I kind of prefer the up look. It curves with the arm, with the muscle, just slightly, this face, right? It's aimed down and then it's aimed out, which I really like. And we're gonna work it right into this angel, which is a little bit on like the light side. So I'm gonna be making everything that touches the wings and the halo dark, and it's gonna make that halo really pop. I know that's something we've been talking about recently, is how to make things light using dark. Now, where do I want everyone looking on this face? The face, right? The eyes, the nose, the mouth, the main features, like right here, and even the forehead, like in this area, right? So I want everyone like looking a little bit at the lips, but like here. So the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna make everything around it dark. And the easiest way to think about it is like, if this is a circle, we'll do another circle here, and then another one here, kind of in 3 sections. So this will be our light circle, a lot of this will be like mid-tone, and then all here will be dark, right? Especially on this outer back of the arm, where you're not gonna see it as much, but if we make that nice and dark, and we kind of have that push in the background, it's just gonna create more emphasis on this face, and we can really show off some details here. So it's like the closer we get to the face, the more contrast, the more detail, the more light accentuation. So it's gonna be a fun one today. So we are starting this off. One thing that I really try to get in the habit of doing when I have intersecting pieces like this is taking my time and defining where the old tattoo is. This might sound like silly, but you really don't want to mistakenly tattoo over an area you really need. Like I put in this halo like so light before, so I'm just kind of like redefining it to make sure that I don't lose it, so you kind of see that build up there. Now, I'll connect my little beard hair points to where they need to go, because I did that stencil over it, so I have that like double line, this like purple line existing, and that other stencil doesn't line up perfectly, so I want to make sure I had already had it mapped out, and it's good. So we're doing that now. I'll even use some alcohol like I was doing earlier to just kind of wipe it away. So I'm just finding those old lines, just hitting them clean and fresh, so I really know where it is, and then I'm working my lines in around it. I think this is good practice. Just take those few extra seconds. Take your time. Make sure you're getting done what needs to get done. Not going over some of your old work. Not that you couldn't fix it, if that does happen. It's always good to be cautious. So now as I'm like working it, it's a lot easier to see like what's what. And then as I start to like fill this in, you're really gonna see this halo pop, which I'm pretty excited about. Like whenever I have these negative space things that are moving into the next piece, I always just really lightly gray line it, as you can see I did. But you don't get the effect of it until You get the darks in behind it, which we're doing today, which is really fun. So I'm going to try to get it pretty dark next to it, because the darker I get it, the more it'll pop. Not too dark, where like I start to lose the hair, right? Because we do have some black on the hair. So you can see I'm kind of like fading down towards the hair, so the hair will still meet the negative spot. So it'll still be like pronounced well. But as we get away from it darker, right? So we see that fade in there. And then this hair is gonna come down here, like that. We're gonna do the same thing, reverse fade, light, 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 medium, slowing down, dark, getting dark. So light, light, just defining a little. And then back to dark up here. And you can see, we can still see the line of the hair there. So that's what I want. And I go slow and steady with this because you really want the negative skin, or I do, to be like crisp. You know, I can even pick and flick down on here. Because where I'm picking, it's dark, and as I release down, it gets farther from the skin, therefore it creates a lighter dot. So let's see what that looks like. And then I'll just like cross hatch it a little bit, smooth it out. Nice, so we see the hair kind of getting this like little glow around it. Halo defined, I can go right into it. So where it meets the halo, I do have like the hairs, so I'm gonna put like my little details in the hairs, which are just some simple fades. I'll show you real quick. Define the hairs real quick. Some will be lighter than the others, just to create some separation between like the strands, the groupings of hair. So now we see the hairs defined there. But remember, we're in that, remember the circles? We're in that outer circle, so this stuff's gonna end up being like really dark. Cool, so we got the details in, and now we're gonna like just kind of bump it up. Now we're gonna do like the big shades. So I'm just gonna be like flicking down off this halo over the whole thing, because I want everything to get darker together. You know, and just with a lot of practice, I'm able to, you know, just shade in the circle to define the halo. You know, but when I was new or like still getting comfortable with the hand motion, I would just move like a little slower. You could even set up like a little like bumper on your finger. I'll show you in a sec. You see, I'm just kind of bouncing off the thumb here. So you can see now we have separation with the hair. Make it a little tighter down here, a little darker. We have separation to the halo above. And we're kind of just going to be mimicking that all around the negative. And then I might even take a mag at the end and brush over that to like really make these things dark. But it's always fun, like if you find yourself with like a dark image, just drawing like some real bright negative space in there. Like I knew the beard was going to be dark, so I was like, oh, it'd be fun to have, you know, halo in there. Really pop. You can even see in the reference photo kind of what we're going for with that effect. So yeah, just continuing to define this thing, and then we'll start working on the outside. On this side of the hair, it's actually lighter, so I can go right up to the hair itself. I don't have to fade into it. Like with the back side of the head, the hair is a little darker. Alright, we can really see the halo. It's full effect now. I have all the details of the beard in. So now, and you guys have seen me do this before, but I'm just going to kind of bump the volume and push the light around. You know, so the light is like really over here. This is in our second circle. Remember the circle's in the beginning. So this is in our second circle. And this is in our farthest. So I'm really just gonna come to the bottom and I'm gonna push the darkness towards that white spot. I'm gonna do this over the whole piece. And really the whole thing kind of looks like this area up here. And I'm just pushing value into it and it looks full. So you can see I'm just creating this dark shadow over here. There's certain parts that I want to pop out, like this strand right here. So all that really involves is shading around it. I'm using like a 50% right now, not my full black. And then over here, especially on this back side, I don't really want there to be any skin tone. I'm going to kind of flatten it out. It's going to stay in the background. And I'm just staying on top of the skin. I'm not going deep at all. You know, we hit these areas a bunch of times, so I don't want to beat the skin up too bad. So you can see I'm not really doing details at all. I'm just hitting big areas because we've already put the details in. So this is just to play with the light a little bit, bring things forward. In the beginning, I'm looking at everything very small strands of hair. And now I'm just looking at bigger shapes. I'm taking on the bigger shapes, not focusing on details, especially around this halo. Keep things nice and dark. It's gonna pop out more. And as we do that, it just emphasizes the shape of the halo. Even if it's not in the reference and you're doing a negative space like that, it's still a good move to just kind of flick some shadow off of it. Put it right over the figure. Get a real nice crisp shape there. It's very intentional. So I'll be continuing that as we move into kind of what we're calling the second circle. Get a little lighter. That'll be between like the 50% and then also dipping in the wash. You know, you pay attention to the shapes, like this one's curling up right here. Curls there and then comes down and fades away, so obviously I'll put the shadow on the bottom of it. We'll hit the sides to emphasize that twist. So I'm being a little more picky in the second circle, not hitting every little thing. With the outer one, I was just brushing a big shadow over everything. Because in this outer rim, there will be some spots that are skin tones, so I will leave those skin tones, kind of filling in the rest. All right, we're at the end of the day. This is our final product for the day. We actually got a lot accomplished, more than I thought. We're gonna be working on it tomorrow, so tomorrow's gonna be an easy day. We're just gonna get this top of the forehead and finishing the hair. We'll have the entirety of the piece completed. We have some of his inner arm open, so we'll move there with our extra time tomorrow, but we got a lot accomplished. You can see the halo popping, we got the beard, this nice back shadow pushing forward, put the focus here. We'll be doing the same with the back side of the head, so all this will be light tomorrow. Draws the attention right to the eyes, nose, right where we want it. You can even see the little cut on the face here where I brushed it back to again establish the light part of the face in the front here. When I look away, I look at it. For me, eyes go right where we want them. So we're already accomplishing that look. We're not even done. I'm gonna be doing the pad system just to save the stencil for tomorrow. Wrap them in saran wrap. We'll pull it off tomorrow, see how the stencil held up. We are on day 2. I already unwrapped it. I was too quick for Fritz, but we'll take a look at what we got so far. You guys already know there wasn't much left. So we did lose a little here. So I'm just gonna draw that in just so I have it. But really this whole section here is like light hair. It looks really nice today. You can see there's not too much redness, which is always a good indicator for how far you took the skin. So thankfully we didn't take it too far. We are done with this outer cap. I'm thrilled with the results, especially with a big open face like this. It's a great chance to like practice and just have fun with big smooth fades and shades. I even use a little mag in this one, like on the nose and some of the softer areas. But let's take a look, let me show you. So we have all this in here, you know, back from the start with this nice halo on the angel up top. Just popping right out of the dark part of the beard. In the beginning I showed you the circles. We kept this face really open, nice and light. As we move to our outer, you know, we start to see these midtones and the details in there. And then all the way out, you know, just brush that over with a mag. It's very dark. It's almost saying like, you know, I'm in here, but don't pay attention to me. Look at the face, right? And it brings us right back where we want the eye to be drawn. We left the nose open, the eyes open. I just feel like the empty space is just kind of screaming, which is exactly what we want. I brushed in like a mid-dark background to not take away from the face, but to also accentuate, you know, this continued negative space. We kind of see these repeating patterns. I like to do that. Looks like it was planned. The eyes and the brain-like patterns. But could not be happier with this end result. Capping off the sleeve here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're not done with the sleeve. We did start a little on the inside, so I'll show you guys that when we get to it, but we're calling it a day. We did 2 days in a row. He champed it out. We got the outer half done. This is the best part because like you don't even know we're not done with the inner. It looks like he has a sleeve already. Hopefully that breakdown was helpful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you're not already, get in the Discord so you can win that free machine.